Dear participants, it's a great honor for me to be here today and speak about, well, I hope some interesting topics, at least for the people who are listening and who are not German citizens and who might be interested a little bit on, at least my humble opinion, on what is going right and what is going wrong in Germany. There's many things we can learn from the Baltic states. So I believe this conference might be a very nice kickoff of a very, very interesting working together and getting along in the 21st century, establishing real connections. So I'm very thankful for the organizers to host this meeting, even though it is only in a digital mean this year. Hopefully we will continue, and hopefully in the future it will also be back in presence. My topic today is a SWOT analysis of what goes wrong, what is right, what are strengths and what are the weaknesses in Germany. I want to start off with those of you who probably don't really know about the real strength of German economy. Why is German economy performing so well over the last decade, no, over the last century? In my opinion, the main topic, the main point why Germany is performing so well is the backbone of what we call German economy. It's the middle-sized and small companies, the non-public companies, most of them family-owned. Why is this system so sustainable? Well, mainly because in Germany, it is not the state who usually does influence the economy too much. We have a so-called self-administration of economy. So it's the entrepreneurs, it's the entrepreneurial spirit, it's the creating and the building up over generations of very specified, very special mid-sized companies who are market leaders in their products. We call them hidden champions, some of them. And that's something we have very specially in Germany. Compared to many of our friends within Europe, outside of Europe, it is a different economic style that we have created over the last hundreds of years. Therefore, I would point out why this is one of the main risks that we also share, looking into the future of the 21st century. There's many other opportunities and many other possibilities and strengths that we actually have in Germany. For example, political stability, the checks and balance system that has been working very well for the past years. Also the question of skilled labor. Of course, there's many, many weaknesses. Let me point out one that is very difficult at the moment. It's the lack of skilled labor because we have not the possibility, we don't have the possibilities at the moment to give out all the jobs that we actually share on the economic side. It's a question of education that is running low. We have an issue with some of the infrastructure programs that we have been running for many, many years. I think one of the best examples might be right here in Berlin, talking about the disaster we had when it was about building up a new airport. Many of these risks that we are carrying along into the 21st centuries are risks that we can learn a lot, especially from the Baltics and also from our friends in Poland. I believe that the main challenge that we have to face in Germany is the mindset of our people, but also the mindset when it comes to the entrepreneurial spirit that we're slowly losing. One of the facts might be bureaucracy. As long as politicians don't understand how deadly bureaucracy can be for creativity, for new ideas, for entrepreneurial spirit, we will have a hard challenge to continue the success we had in the last decade and in the last century. This is one thing we can definitely learn. Let me talk about some of my friends in the Baltics, but also in Poland. It is astonishing how young people, how activists, how young people, how entrepreneurs actually want to change something and how they did. If you ask me personally, I'd say all these countries, the Baltics, the free Baltic state, as well as Poland, they did their homework over the last years. Of course, there were ups and downs. At the moment, we're all struggling with COVID. And COVID hit Poland, for example, very hard when you look at the economic growth. But on the other side, the spirit is still alive. People are still willing to change things and to really adopt their entrepreneurial ideas. This is something, unfortunately, we are lacking in Germany. What's the cause for that? It's not merely only the politics. It's also looking at the educational system. There's different rankings all over. We just had a new ranking a few days ago looking at German family businesses and the reason why it makes sense to invest or not invest in Germany. Unfortunately, once again, we lost a lot of ranks. We were ranked number 14 globally. Now we're down to 19. This is very unfortunate. I believe one of the reasons is because we try to always solve problems on the political level. Probably we should step back a little bit and relearn what our forefathers already did. The best way you can help as a politician, the economy, is to give the economy the room to breathe, the air to breathe, and the framework they need. And this is probably something we lost over the last decade. We always believed that in politics, we are the ones to set the rules and to really make things go the way we want to align them. Obviously, that's the task we have to do as politicians. But if we do it too strict, if there's too many rules, if entrepreneurs cannot comply with the rules anymore. And let me just give you one example from my own company. We're a machine manufacturing company in the south of Germany. It's quite some years ago. We had the issue that there were two federal laws that we had to comply with. One was a law that had to do with the data law protection, GDPR, the old one, and the other one was to do when it came to exports with a German toll and the toll that we have to bear, because we are exporting quite many products, especially to the United States and others. We were asked to also screen, which is a completely normal thing, all of our customers, all of our work employees, to screen them on the international terror list. Well, on the other hand, our data law officer told us, no, you're not allowed to do this. The question as a manager, as the owner of the company was, so which law should I comply now? Of course, we were asking the ministry. They were aware of the issue. Still, it's not possible to have the rule of law and to have a state-run organization if a company does not know how to comply with the laws, because it's just literally impossible to adopt both laws. And I think this is something we have to take very serious. Looking into German politics, sometimes one hand doesn't know what the other one is doing. We love to regulate. We love to over-regulate sometimes. And this is something I believe we can learn from other countries. Michael Schumann was already talking about digitalization. This is one fact we're lacking behind, way behind. We can learn so much from the technological openness that our friends in the Baltics and in Poland also share. Why don't we manage to do it in Germany? Let me just, on the conclusion, put up a little joke. What do you think? When was Wi-Fi installed in German Parliament, in the Bundestag? It will come tomorrow, I just heard. Well, perfect, because I'll tell you this. It was installed on the 1st of January 2018. I believe 2018, looking at my friends in Estonia, looking at my friends in Latvia, in Lithuania, but I'm also sure also in Poland, 2018, they were far ahead. Michael Schumann just told us Skype was invented in the Baltics. Well, what would you do with Skype if there's no Wi-Fi or if there's no internet? You see, there's a lot of challenges that we have to face in Germany. And if we don't want to step back, looking at our startup infrastructure, looking at our economy. So the real strength, the German family businesses are much interested in now what is happening with the disruption in the 21st century, looking at the startups, looking at what is happening. We have to enable them on the political side to do exactly what they have been doing over centuries. Develop their ideas, look for creativity, look at what their business model might look like in the future. If we don't enable them as politicians, then we might lose the success and the strength that we had over the last years. This is what I'm going to work for. This is what I fear. And this is why I'm very happy to be on this conference these days. And I hope I could give you some of the insights that are worrying me in some ways, and why I'm so much looking forward in this conference to learn how we can do it better, how we can together strive for even more prosperity in the 21st century, work together, because together I'm quite sure we're strong and we can manage all the challenges that are facing us in this global 21st century. Thank you a lot, and thanks for having me here in this conference.